What's good, BitRushers? My name's Kyler, and this is BitRush Crypto. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys step by step everything you need to know to start buying and selling NFTs and make thousands of dollars. The opportunities in the NFT world are absolutely limitless right now. As I said, I'm making thousands of dollars selling and flipping NFTs, and I'm on the very low levels doing it on a very small scale. If you have a lot of capital and you can afford to get into the bigger projects, people are making hundreds of thousands, if not millions. So the opportunities and strategies I'm going to teach you in this video are going to be life-changing if you put them to use and capitalize while the opportunity is ripe. Today's video is going to assume some basic level of knowledge, such as you know what an NFT is. I'm not exactly going to be explaining that in today's video. I'm also going to assume that you know how to use MetaMask or some other Web3 wallet and connect to OpenSea and any other platform you might need to buy and mint NFTs on. It's not going to be a how to do things like that. It's going to be more of a strategy and how to execute that strategy on different websites and tools and use it effectively to make money. If all that sounds good, go ahead and tap on that thumbs up button, sub to the channel if you're not already. Find links in the description for everything you need regarding this video and my social media. Leave a comment on today's video with your Ethereum address for a chance to win a free NFT. And here we go. Okay, so my first tip for you guys when getting started with buying and selling NFTs is to treat it like a business and separate it from your collection. If you want to collect NFTs, that's great. I love collectibles. I love NFTs from a collecting standpoint. However, it's hard to make money if you're just sitting on the NFTs and collecting them unless it's a long-term play. If you want to buy and sell and flip, you need to treat it like a business. And for that reason, I recommend you setting up a separate wallet for your flips that you have for your collection. This is actually something I haven't done and I'm looking to do in the future here as I continue to buy and sell and flip NFTs. Which is why I'm telling you guys, because I'm trying to give you the early advantage and do the things that I wish I did, okay? So this is one of the things that I don't do that I wish I did, and that's just have a separate wallet for my flips and from my collection. So I can keep the ones I really like here as collectibles. If I find something, maybe in one of my mints or whatever that ends up being a rare gem, and it's just like too good to sell, I just want to keep it in my wallet, I can send that to my other collectible wallet and keep that there. Whereas, something that I'm looking to maybe just buy and sell as soon as it reveals, or looking to buy off the secondary market and flip for a little bit increased value, I'm not going to have the same sentimental, attachment to it. And if you separate your wallets and you just have the mind state of, this wallet is for flipping, it'll kind of detach you a little bit from some of these NFTs and keep you from, just holding on to them forever. So that's my very first tip for you guys, is set up a separate wallet, a separate account for your flipping than you have for your collection. This will make things much easier, not only to track from a business standpoint, but also, again, like I said, just to kind of separate your personal stuff from the business. Okay, so we have our wallet set up, we have some ETH in it, and we're ready to start making our first purchases, start buying and selling and flipping NFTs. Where do we begin? So the first thing I want to talk about, guys, is finding flippable NFTs. There's lots of different levels and, kind of ranges to this stuff. To be honest with you, I'm kind of at the very lower ends. I don't have a lot of ETH to flip. I'm trying to get them at mint or at floor value and trade them up, get rare gems and trade them up. However, if you have a little bit more ETH and you can afford to go get like, say a CryptoPunk for 100 ETH or something like that, the same strategies are basically going to apply. It's just with a much higher dollar value. Ultimately, what we want to do is find the best possible NFT available for the cheapest price. To do that, we're going to need to buy our NFTs at or below floor value. Okay, so we want to get them at the very lowest possible price we can, or lower than that. There's several ways we can go about doing that. So the easiest way to get NFTs at the lowest possible cost below floor value is to get them at mint. If you mint the NFT, then you're going to generally get it below the cost of the floor, because you're going to have to pay a little bit of gas, and then OpenSea takes a fee. So usually people aren't selling their NFTs for less than what they paid after they've been minted. And what I've found, and this isn't true across the board for every single project, but most of the really good projects that even have a small following, about a week or two after mint, sometimes even as little as a few days after mint, the value of the NFT, even pre-revealed, can sometimes be 2, 3, 4 times the mint price. Okay. So keep that in mind, that if you can get in at mint, you have the best possible chance of making the highest gains. To be honest, finding NFT projects to mint is not hard at all, guys. There's literally tons and tons of projects being released every day. The harder part is going to be differentiating between what projects are going to flop and what projects are going to launch to the moon. Okay, so the first thing we can do is just go ahead and find some calendars and start looking at what NFT drops are coming. There are several websites and tools available for you guys to check out the calendars and upcoming drops and get all the information. One of them is rarity.tools/upcoming. You can see a list of pretty much every drop that's been added to their website. They don't have every drop out, but anyone that's contacted them and given them the information, they have them listed here pretty much every day. There's a whole bunch of drops, and it has all their links and their Discord and their Twitter, which we definitely recommend checking and seeing the size, how many followers are on Twitter, how many people are in their Discord chat, is the chat active, all that good stuff, guys. Check out the artwork. Do you like the artwork, right? So all these things are going to help you guys differentiate which ones are going to be good. The other thing here we have is NFT Calendar. So they have a whole bunch here. You can see we have nonfungi.com drops. So they have a whole bunch of different stuff here. We have every drop one list, and this is NFT Catcher, so you guys can see this. So there's just a lot of different lists out there, guys. A lot of like groups and things like that that you guys can join and stay up on the projects. As I mentioned, it's not going to be hard to find NFTs to mint, especially right now, because the market is just absolutely booming. We have Solana NFTs, we have Polygon NFTs, we have ADA NFTs. So a lot of good opportunities, including Ethereum, obviously, as the main one. But things are just popping right now. So it's not going to be hard to find projects to mint. That's going to be the easy part. Again, it's going to be the harder part is differentiating which projects you want to invest in. So a little bit of that is going to take some time, guys. Like I said, follow some people on Twitter, get in some groups, see how many people they have as a following, how much demand is there going to be, how many NFTs are being minted. If there's only 3,000 NFTs being minted and there's 10,000 people in their chat, they're probably going to sell out pretty quick and have a high demand. So moving on from mint, let's say that a project has already minted and we want to get in. How can we buy in at floor or lower than floor? So there's several ways to do that, guys, and I'm going to show you right now. Number one is to come over to OpenSea. So we can see here for the Fusion Apes, this is a project I just got into the other day. These guys just launched. It's kind of like Forenza Apes, so I think this thing's going to be huge. It's a combination of two of the biggest projects out, both Forenzas and the Bored Ape Yacht Club. I don't think they have association with either one of those projects, but it's just a cool kind of combination of the two themes. So to me, right away, that struck me as something that was going to be of value. I picked up a couple of these, and they've already doubled in floor price previous to reveal. I picked them up at floor at about a quarter ETH. You can now see they were going as high as 0.75 ETH here, but it looks like it's fluctuating range right now. So to do that, you need to just find the project as early as possible. And when I got over here and I looked at it, they had already all minted, they had sold out, and the floor price was a quarter ETH. But the big indicator for me, guys, not only what other than the art and what I saw from that and kind of knew it would be big from that, was in addition to the ETH traded. So they had just launched like one day after launch, and they already had about 200 ETH traded. And again, the floor price was a quarter ETH. So you guys do the math, that's quite a bit of resales on the secondary market. So right away I was like, wow, these things are moving fast. They have a lot of sales on the secondary market. This is going to be a big community. So that was a big indicator for me, guys. And we come over here to price low to high, and we can see here that there are a couple auctions going on. If you guys want to get in on the auctions, that's one way. You guys can try to get things rare and try to like get an auction right before it finishes if it's a good value. A lot of times people have reserves on them, so it's kind of hard to do it that way, but sometimes things can work out. But coming a little bit further after we start seeing the top bids is we see the lowest possible price. So just alone right here, we have one ape for 0.55, and the next ape is going to be 0.58. Okay, so that's a big range already just from one to the next ape. So if I were to buy this ape and relist them already, I could, sell them for 0.58 or higher. Not necessarily a huge gain, especially with the gas fees and paying OpenSea's fee, but that's just an example of how you can see from one to the next. So what we're looking for is we're checking liquidity. How much liquidity is at the range here at the bottom? So it's very few. And then let's say we are looking to buy a few of these, right? So if we bought this one, and this one, now we're going to raise the floor price, guys. The floor price is now going to be at 6. So coming in here and just seeing how many are at 6, now we can count. It looks like there might be like 10 to 20 in the 6 to 7 range. So still a little bit low liquidity in the floor volume range for this one, guys. So for me, that's a big indicator that if we were to come in here and buy a couple of these, there's not much else for sale, so the floor is going to raise up. The demand is going to raise up. So this is probably a good project to get in on. We could just come in and scoop these up at the floor value. Like I said, they haven't revealed yet, so if it was post-reveal, this would be a little bit different. We'd be looking for certain rare characteristics to buy, but right now you basically want to just come in and buy the floor on these if you could. So like 1, 2, 3, you could scoop up all 3 of those, and now you just got in like 0.5 basically under what it's going to be here in a minute as soon as we get up and sell a few more. The next way you can try to get these for floor or below is actually make an offer. So if we come here and we see one of these ones that's maybe a little bit higher price, like one of these, the 0.658, we can see it has an offer of 0.42. So people are going in here on these and saying like, listen, I see you have it for this much, but if you want to get rid of it right now, I'll buy it off you for that price. If you make enough offers on enough, you might get lucky and get one. You do have to have the ETH in your wallet to be able to make these offers and put them out and leave them out there for a couple days and see if they get accepted. But it can be a good strategy to kind of snipe stuff below. Sometimes people might need a little bit of ETH for a new project, or they've just been sitting on it for a little while and they want to get rid of it. Something like this that it's just launched, you're probably not going to be able to do that because people know that they haven't even revealed yet, so they're going to hold on to them probably until they at least reveal, unless they're trying to just do quick flips like we're talking about. But you can still sometimes get in here and give offers, so give that a try if you guys want. Just go in there and give them an offer. The only thing you have to risk is basically them telling you no and not accepting it. They won't even tell you no, it'll just expire, so you don't even get rejected or anything. So that's also an option there, guys. Okay, for the next part of the strategy, I want to show you guys how to snipe rare gems basically at floor or below floor value on projects that have already revealed, right? So we were talking about ones that haven't revealed yet right after mint, how to get in on those. This one is more of like, project's been out maybe a couple days, a couple weeks, or possibly even a couple months. This could apply to something that's been out for years or whatever. The traits are out and we're looking to buy something cheap and flip it. So we're going to use the Visitors NFT as our example for today. And you guys can see that one I had, priced at 420 ETH, and I did scoop him up just above the floor. So as I mentioned earlier, the best possible strategy is to get them at the cheapest possible price. But there is like a little asterisk on that, is that if we can pay a little bit higher than floor value and get something that's going to give us a much higher return, it's smarter to pay a little more and get a lot more back versus paying the very bottom floor price and just getting back the very minimum on it. Okay, so where you want to kind of stay in this range is towards the bottom tier of the lower the price low to high. As you start getting into the middle range ones, you're going to have a harder time selling those ones, just simply because as people get in, they want to find the rare gems, right? There's two types of people buying. There are people that are buying to flip and to find the rare gems and resell them, and then there's the collectors. So what you're trying to do is to sell to the collectors, and there's a lot of other people out there doing the same type of thing. So the middle tier NFTs in the price range are going to be a lot harder to sell, because you're only going to be able to sell them to a collector who has a little bit more to spend on something that they want and they see as a rare gem. Whereas if you can get in and pick something up at the floor value, it's a lot easier to flip it then into that middle tier or upper tier range of NFT price. So again, just kind of recapping what I said, I know it might be a little bit confusing, is we want to stick to the lower price tier as close as we can to the floor value of these NFTs while finding the best possible rarest gem. I have another video kind of going over how to find rare gems, but essentially what we're going to do is either go to rarity tools, and if they're on there, we can search and see how rare they are, how rare each one of those traits are, or now we also have the ability on the side here on OpenSea, which is what I like to do. I like to just go to all of them, and then we go to the side and let's pick one. So let's just say like shirt. And another way you could do it is if you saw something you like. So maybe you saw, one of these shirts that you really liked, and you're like, I like that shirt. I want to just research and see, how many of these shirts or whatever. One thing I can show you guys that I like to do is just come on the side again and see the numbers. So we say, okay, these ones are in the 200s. We get down to the bottom, and we start to get into the 20s and 30s. Now these are rare because there's literally only 30 with the red backpack. There's only 15 with the purple catsuit. So let's just say, for an example, we click into the purple catsuit. The lowest one's going to be 2 ETH. The rest aren't even for sale. So we're not going to be able to snipe one from there. Let's get off of that. But let's maybe try to find something with like a penguin is fairly rare with 56. And the lowest price we're going to be able to get there is 0.26. Again, guys, the floor here is 0.09. And if you got in at mint, it was 0.04. So these have already doubled mint. That's why getting in on mint is always going to be your best bet on most projects. You can mint as many as you want, and as long as the project does well, usually you're going to double, triple your money within a couple weeks. But just coming down here, so that's a little bit higher than we're looking to spend, so let's unclick that one. Let's go a little bit further down. Let's see, maybe we get like a rainbow suspenders. All right, so there's only 75 rainbow suspenders, and now we're talking here. So now we can get one for 0.18, which is double floor price, so that's a little bit better, but still not good enough, guys. We want to find something that's going to be basically right at floor price. Okay, so if we click into angel wings or mouse suit here, we start to get in the range. 0.13 isn't bad, okay? So, basically 0.4 more than what we're going to, the floor value is. So we're looking to basically have the floor raise up a little bit, and then we have a rarer one here with some wings. We might be able to do something like that, and if we go down, we can see some of these are starting to sell for a little bit more. So something like that might be a rare gem here, guys, that we could pick up for 0.13, and then in a couple weeks hopefully flip this for 0.25. If look, the other thing is now we're applying that other principle from before, is the liquidity. We can say, so on these wings, let me just click off the mouse suit. Let's just stick to the wings. So we have 0.13, 0.13, 0.15, 0.16, and then it moves up to 0.24, okay? So if you had the ETH right now, you could buy all 4 of these wings, and now the lowest price is going to be 0.25, so you could literally put all of them back on the market for sale for 0.25, and now the lowest you're going to be able to get a alien with wings is going to be 0.25, and you're essentially doubling your money on all of those. I think that might be a good play right now. However, this is just an example for you guys. I just want to teach you how to fish, essentially. If I say go buy this NFT and you guys buy that NFT, and every time you follow me and you just buy the NFTs I buy, you can make money. But the better thing to do is to learn the strategy. That's why I'm trying to teach you guys here is how to get these at floor value or less. So the next thing we could do now is see, we see these at 0.13 and we know the floor value is 0.09. We could go in here and make an offer on this guy, right? So click in and make an offer if we wanted, and we could make an offer for just above floor, so like do 0.095 maybe, right? So now we could possibly snag this thing at that price, go in and buy them all, whatever you guys want to do, right? There's a lot of options, things available. I just want to really get across how you can search and find these things and find them at floor value, close to floor value, maybe even below if you can make an offer on them and snipe them off the market and reflip. Okay, so I have two more strategies for finding rare gems on OpenSea, and for this strategy we're going to take a look at Penguin Fight Club, which has recently launched and started to reveal but not yet sold out. So coming down, one of the things that we can do to try to find something that is a rare gem is on OpenSea we can sort by different things, and what we can do is recently listed. Okay, so recently listed is going to be ones that are just put on for sale. So sometimes you can find something that someone tried to put up for sale that another NFT sniper hasn't seen yet. So these are going to be the most recent additions to the marketplace, and sometimes here you can find nice gems. Just seeing a few of the ones that are listed here. Obviously they are a little bit higher in range, some of these, but coming to the lower ones, we can still see some that are basically at right around floor value. The floor is 0.03, so actually most of these are above floor here that are being listed, but again guys, you can still find some like that one right there. If we come in here we go, here's one that's basically at floor. That one actually looks really cool. He's got 3D goggles, a blue mohawk, he's black, and I haven't seen a lot of the black penguins, I don't know how rare that is, but he's got like a wizard thing. That's actually probably a rare gem right there. Someone just put that thing on the marketplace, no one else has seen it yet. If we wanted, we could snag that up for 0.04 right there, guys. And if we wanted, we could click into him and see how rare he is, all those traits. So going into him, we can see his properties, so 9% on piercing, 6% on light blue, 10% on complacent, 14% naked, 4% emperor. 3D goggles are going to be only 2%, so that makes it slightly rare there. And then weapon mage at 2%, so probably the combination of these two are going to be good. And then the 3% hawk, so all those are fairly low, like they're not 1% or under, but a combination of several 2 or 3%, and then all of them are things that are cool and they make a cool combination. So you have to take the cool factor into it. Not only is it a combination of 3 rare traits, but also just looks badass, right? Like 3D goggles, mohawk, all black wizard, like that's a dope penguin. And he's at floor value. So if you minted one, you could get a penguin, you don't know what you're going to get. It would be a risk. Do you get something cool, or do you get something that's not as great? So with this, you know right away that you're getting it at floor value, and it's a cool, good penguin that's fairly rare, probably going to have a nice resale value. So on the same vein of thinking, with a project like this that's already been revealed, but the mint isn't done yet, you can also go to recently created. And this is going to populate every NFT that's been minted. So as people are minting them, we can come in and follow the mint. And if we go down far enough, we can find the ones that have been revealed. So here we go. All these ones are just recently minted and recently revealed. Maybe somebody got something nice and, they don't know how rare it is. So we can put an offer on these. We can come in and say, I'd like to pay floor value for this. And maybe they take the offer, right? So kind of in that same vein of thinking, guys, like the recently listed and recently created, you can go in and make offers even before they're listed and try to get something for the value you want rather than waiting for the owner to put it up for sale. And then kind of the last strategy here, guys, is going to be to search by recently sold. So this just gives you an idea of what type of NFTs are selling. So we can see for how much they're selling for. So the last on this one was just over mint. We can see this one sold for about triple mint. This one under mint. So it's weird. You can kind of see, are you able to get things under mint? Look, this one is selling for under mint, so you might be able to snipe one out if you made an offer on something on somebody. And then just coming in here and seeing the different prices. Usually I like to see some high priced ones and see what people are going. Here we go. So, or actually that one didn't sell yet. So just giving you a good idea of what type of NFTs are selling, what people are buying on the secondary market, what types of traits people like. If you start seeing a lot of the same traits being bought up, you might say, okay, this is going to be a popular trait, and those are the ones that we want to try to snipe off the floor. Another thing we can do to find the most valuable ones, guys, at the very top here is sold high. So highest last sale, that's what it's called, sorry. And this is going to show you what the highest last sale price is on any one of these penguins. And so for this one, he was 0.2, right? He's got the sun and the moon background, so that's probably going to be a rare one. Also, it looks like he's got like this sushi chef outfit. That's probably something rare. We see here 2 of the ones that have been sold are wearing those sushi chef outfits. So sometimes it's not just how rare the traits are, it's how the market is reacting to those traits. So if we start seeing something that's being purchased for a large dollar value over and over again, we can look at some of those traits and see maybe we want to get into this. So again, like this one, he was only sold for 0.08 with that tiger, but that looks like something rare that maybe we want to start sniping. So we look at that and say, okay, let's look for that purple tiger background and see if we can find any more with that, right? So that's just an example, guys. Again, I'm just trying to give you guys the strategy on this, not the exact like go into this project and buy this NFT type thing. So hopefully this makes sense to you, all the different ways you can search and how you're using those different ways as tools for your strategy. The next thing we need to talk about, guys, is taking profits. So when do we take profits? Say we bought at mint and now the market's going crazy right now. People are giving us offers for 5-6 times the value. If you have multiples, maybe you want to sell one and get your initial money back. That's up to you guys. But what I think is the best strategy personally is about 3 to 4 weeks after mint. Depending on the project's timeline, this is going to be the perfect amount of time to build up hype. If we take a look at a project like the Wanderers, I think the Wanderers is a perfect example of this, guys. So I originally got mine at mint. I think it was like 0.07 or whatever. And then, I got kind of like a beat up cracked one. I wasn't really that happy with it. And again, guys, I wasn't actually looking to flip this project. So I'm using this as an example. But as I said earlier in the video, separate your selling from your collecting wallet. I was collecting mine. I didn't like the one I had. And so I tried to flip it. I initially put it on the market for 0.08, which was just basically 0.01 above my mint value. Honestly, I was probably just breaking even, if not losing money on that from the gas and the OS fee. But I was trying to just get my money back so I could buy another one I liked, right? And so that thing didn't sell, actually. For the first week, it was on the market, and I was like, oh man, no one wants to buy my crappy Wanderer. And then all of a sudden they started releasing these transmissions. They added the radio station. They just built up a lot of hype on the project. And then my Wanderer got bought, and I was like, oh great, it got bought, I can go buy another one. And when I went, the floor had raised, and I realized the reason why mine sold was because it was basically the lowest one and someone just wanted to pick it up. So they scooped mine up off of floor. If I'd known that, I probably would have raised the price a little bit more. I wasn't tracking it. I didn't see the floor raising on these. Either way, I got out and I was able to purchase a little bit better one. So you guys could see here, I scooped this one up for 0.29. If we look at the history of this NFT though, originally this guy Helium Town minted it and he sold it for 0.074, which was basically his mint value. So he probably sold it right after mint, guys, and sold it to Zombies. So that was a good scoop by him because he then doubled his money, if not more, right? Basically tripled up his money selling it to me for 0.29. All right, and now I have it for sale for 2. But if we go into the Wanderers, we can see that the floor price on these is 0.19, which is actually, more than double what I got rid of mine at. So I sold it way too quick. I sold it after only 1 week and the price was just starting to rise. The hype was just starting to build. For me, like I said, it wasn't part of my flipping strategy. I was honestly just trying to get rid of it to get a better one. But if I was, doing a little bit more strategic, I would have hung on to it till right now and been able to make a lot more even on that lowest value one. And then if you had a higher value one, the higher, better value ones are obviously driving a higher demand right now. So it's really easy if you have a good one to be able to flip it for a higher amount. So don't sell too early, guys. Even if they're going for, double the price of mint, if the hype is going to be there, if they have a good timeline, a good roadmap, and you think the project is continuing to build hype after mint, then you're probably going to want to hang on to it for a little bit longer. Another thing that I can tell you guys as a kind of hint or a strategy here is to have in mind how much you want to make on each NFT. I think double is like the minimum you want to do. So if you can get in at mint and then flip it for double, that's kind of the minimum you want, because you're going to pay gas fees. You're going to pay 2.5% to OS, and you're going to have to pay to have it listed and all that. So for me, you want to get above double. I think if you're trying to, really do a true flip, you almost want like triple your value, or like a 2.5 times what you paid for it, I think is a good price. So initially, if you can mint and then just put it for sale at that price and let it rise up, and the floor rises up and hits your value after a few weeks, and you'll be able to sell out just like that and make your profits. Another strategy though, guys, is after you've minted, if you find a rare gem, do you sell that or do you just hold? That's something that's going to be up to you. But if you have something that's going to continue to increase in value, you may want to switch it to a long-term strategy and just kind of hold that. I can't tell you guys what's right for you and your strategies. Me personally, I'm going into it with everything as a quick flip, and if I find a gem that's going to be super rare, I'm going to send it off to my other wallet that's going to be a collectible wallet, where I'm going to keep it and just as like my personal, NFT collection, or as a longer term flip, maybe in, a year or two, it's, 10x versus just a 2 or 3x. Maybe it's 100x, right? Like these crypto punks, if you got into crypto punks, I bet you never thought they'd be selling for 100 ETH in a few years, but they liked the art, they liked the project, they held on to it. And now, if they want, they have the option to flip those for a large dollar value. So the same thing for me, guys. I'm going into it with like a double, triple initial sale value is what I'm looking to get, and then anything after that, if I find a rare gem, just pop it off to the side and hang on to it for a few years and see what happens. As always, not financial advice on this channel, but if you guys are watching this video, as of the day I record it and release it, or soon thereafter, I think this Fusion 8 project is going to be big, and I think even the floor at a half ETH right now is low. The Frenzas right now are going for hundreds of thousands, if not millions. The Bored Ape Yacht Club apes are going for, 10, 20, 30 ETH each. 20 ETH, I think, is like the floor right now. So there's a lot of opportunities, and this one could be that next gem. If you guys want more information on NFTs, we have a great little group on Telegram, t.me/bitrush9000. It's 100% free. Get in there and start chatting with us about NFTs. Also follow me on Twitter at DeFi BRAINZ with a Z. If you guys enjoyed the content of today's video and found value in it, make sure you do smash that thumbs up. Go ahead and share it on social media so some of your friends can get some help out of this as well and start making some sick gains on NFTs. If you're not already subbed to the channel, do consider it. Happy crypto, and let's get those NFTs.